Hello, my name is Joshua Schick. I'm a curator here at the National World War II Museum, and we're here in the Road to Tokyo Gallery. Specifically, we're standing in front of a case that is focused on the Seabees, Naval Construction Battalions. This case is really representative of sort of the war in the Pacific. A lot of attention gets paid to frontline ships, to battle, tanks landing on beaches, huge assaults. For every man that's out there, there are any number of men behind him that need to keep him supplied. More importantly, in all these remote locations, and this is part of the pre-war planning process, we need to have bases to service all of these men, all these equipment, all these aircraft, and we need men to build those bases, and that's where the Seabees come in. These Naval Construction Battalions go forward and they need to bring tools with them, they need to bring supplies. They're going to turn remote islands into complete naval facilities, hospitals, entertainment areas, anything that the military needs to support the drive across the Pacific. The Seabees are there. And as a result of that, you've got a lot of guys out there with a lot of different equipment needs. Seabees need bulldozers, they need personal protection, and they're also, like any person, they get bored. You're going to be out on these remote islands, say you've built a large airfield. How do you keep these guys entertained? You're going to bring American sporting equipment with you. They're going to build their own churches. They're going to build movie theaters. They also need to provide for their own defense. And so you've got a really great representation here in this case. I think very dramatically as far as defense goes, there's the Sedgley glove gun. And it's actually designed with OSS kind of assassination type stuff in mind, but another thought was to issue them to Seabees. It's actually just a leather work glove with a .38 caliber pistol on it and a plunger. And the thought is, if all of a sudden you need to defend yourself, you can close your fist and physically punch someone, and that will set the pistol off. Sort of a one-shot wonder, a little bit of a kooky idea, only about 200 of them were produced. But still, it's a good representation for that need to defend. In addition, we've got very typical Seabee things like Marson matting. Perforated steel matting that was used to reinforce runways, to build roadways, and the whole idea is we've got this simple material that we can very quickly lay out and have a rough airstrip. In addition, all kinds of souvenirs and little items. These guys are bored, they're going to want to play baseball. They also have a lot of time on their hands and machinery. They might start grinding up coconuts and writing the names of places they've been and selling them to servicemen passing through. Or they're going to end up doing a lot of ashtrays, a lot of smoking paraphernalia. And then, of course, there's downtime. And how do you kill downtime? A nice cold beer on a hot day. Beer was actually shipped out to the Pacific, to Europe, to the armed forces. Steel can beer, a lot of it was lagers. Pretty much always painted olive drab for that little added bit of camouflage. And it was lower content beer, about 3.2%, but it was something that was brought everywhere. So it's also another great thing to think about. These Seabees going out to these remote islands, they're bringing American culture across the board. They're bringing construction, they're bringing American pop items like beer, they're bringing baseball equipment, little souvenirs, they're themselves, and they're staying in these places and developing them for this ultimate drive to Japan. So looking at some of these items in this case, they're really a small representative sample of the huge amount of material that these guys needed to support the drive and to stay entertained themselves. So thank you for joining me here in the Road to Tokyo Gallery, and come check out some more artifacts with the National World War II Museum.